Hello believers, in this video, we are going to know all the mistakes that you must stop right now if you want to be a pro in FC Mobile. And this is part 1. If you reach 5,000 likes, I will also make another part for it. So believers, as always, today's video is going to be amazing, and subscribe, plus turn on the notification bell icon for more exciting future contents like this. Now let's discuss all the mistakes that you must avoid or stop right now one by one. Mistakes 1. Higher team OVR. A lot of people make the mistake of reaching a very high OVR rating in FC Mobile, but I think it totally depends on your requirements. For me right now, upgrading a squad to a very high OVR is not that important, since I don't play much more rank matches, and I really don't push ranks that much. And in case if you push rank, also buying random players and upgrading OVR is really not a good idea. For example, if I have to choose striker, then I have 102 to 105 rating strikers, but most people buy or place 104 to 105 OVR position striker, or any position player to increase their overall ratings, which is increasing OVR, but that's really not going to help you in gameplay. That's because only meta and great players performs well in match. From meta players, I mean, these are the players who are really good in games and you don't get much more cons on them. So, 104 and 105 OVR meta players are very costly and not affordable by normal users, and you really can't buy all 11 meta players because in the recent scenario, higher OVR meta cost 1 billion plus for sure, and after selling the whole squad, you will hardly get one player. So, yeah. That's the reason my suggestion will be to invest in low OVR meta players, because you can see all the qualities on them. Only issue is you can't flex by showing a higher OVR squad. So if you have a great low OVR meta players lineup, then I think your squad is far better than those who are using the non-meta players, but their OVR is very high, like 106 plus. Now, if you want to build a squad just to flex your friends, then that's really fine if you are buying low-valued, higher OVR players. Mistakes, second ranking untradable players. Many beginners and even the pro players make mistakes in ranking the untradable players, but I personally think this is a great mistake that everyone must stop. You will definitely question me back, what can we do then if we shouldn't rank up untradable, right? So, don't worry bros, I will definitely describe every best possible idea to you. I understand well that you might get a lot of untradable players from the different packs. So, in case if the players can be used for a long period of time, then that's okay to use Mascherano, but still I will suggest not to go about purple rank. First rank the player, train him, and in case you think he is very good and give some boost in your team, then you can rank up further. I will suggest red and orange rank up to only players like Gullit, Ronaldo, who are top 1 and meta in the game. Otherwise, it's always a waste or mistake to use the universal rank up cards in the untradable players, and you can even see I have avoided ranking up my team. It's because I don't have a very good player at the moment. Mistake 3. Slow pace defenders. So, defenders are very crucial in the game, and I think if you know how to use the defenders very well, then you can concede very less goals in games, which directly improves the chances of losing games. So, when selecting defenders, pace is a very crucial factor which everyone must know. So, right now, you can consider 88 to 92 as a balanced pace for defenders. If you have defenders with around 90 or 90 plus pace, then they are enough to catch the pacey strikers and defend them. So yeah, make sure to use defenders who have good pace. Mistake 4. Never use the wingers and strikers with these qualities. I know well almost 70% of people use the wing formation, which has left wing and right wing position, and almost 99% people use striker position in FC Mobile. So, yeah, before choosing strikers, you should consider 3 things, and that are shooting, at least 4-star skill move, and finally 5-star weak foot accuracy, where for the winger's pace is very much important. I will prefer to use a winger with at least 105 plus pace. And finally for the wingers, 4-star skill move is a must. If you are using 3-star foot accuracy in strikers and wingers, then I can guarantee you will seriously slow down your scoring ability by 50%, which is going to impact a lot more in the game. So, foot is a must in wingers and strikers, even though you show some ignorance in things such as skill moves, shooting, and pace. Mistake 5. Don't use short goalkeepers. Many of us make one great mistake when we are selecting the players. That's definitely choosing GK. When you are choosing goalkeepers, it's always good to use a goalkeeper with decent height. I don't mean choose GK with a height like 200 centimeters, but I will also not suggest you to use defenders who have less. then 190 centimeters. Most of the GK with a low height are really bad in game, and very high height GK are decent, but they are a bit bad in 1v1 situations because, due to having tall height, they have issues on good reflexes. So, in conclusion, you can use 190 to 198 centimeters GK. Also remember, there is also expectation. Some of the over-tall and too short GK are also good in game, but the issues on short GK is they are really bad on long shots. Mistake 6. Don't make a habit of rushing. I know this is a really big issue for beginners. They directly rush players to defend, and this is big trouble in case the opponent shows some skills or tries to do some stunt moves. So my suggestion will be to try to use only a joystick when you are trying to defend. Just move your defender where your opponent is moving his striker or wingers. That will help a lot to avoid any bypass. So, if you rush then, remember that's going to create big flaws in your defense, and once you start one habit, it's hard to switch to another habit. So, don't make a habit of rushing. Also, you can rush players, but only if you have secondary defenders as backup and your opponent is on their side. I can't also say you shouldn't rush every time. Something is dependent on the situation too, and that you will get from playing the game. Mistake 7. Don't use over-tackling. This is a very bad habit. Once upon a time, I used to tackle a lot just to do some fouls, but literally it got habituated with me. There is not much difference between doing unnecessary tackles and rushing players to get balls. I have almost similar tips for you to use tackling. Just use a joystick and then try to get the ball back. Fouls are done only when needed, and in such a case when the opponent is really near to scoring a goal. Mistake 8. Don't use low-ranked players. Many users use the low-ranked players, and if you use low-ranked players, then they are not even equal to the players that are with like 90 OVR and trained to 10+ levels. So if you train your players then, you are going to get a lot of boosts in your team. If you have used the trained team and even lower meta players then, it's going to be very lethal, pacey, and the opponent will feel very hard to beat. Also, it's hard to do higher training in case you have opened your account recently. Anyway, my suggestion is at least train every player up to 20 training levels. This is the minimum training level. 25 is recommended from my side, where if you have already done 25 training, then you can try to rank your player up to level 32. Mistake 9. Start this from right now. Now, if you haven't trained your players then, you can start purchasing the low OVR fodders. Low OVR fodders are a bit very difficult to purchase, but also search for the players between 60 to 82 rating, and those who have low demand, you can snipe players. Mistake 10. Avoid this mistake when collecting fodders. When you are purchasing fodders, you should always buy green-ranked fodders because green-ranked fodders will give you higher XP, and it helps to train your players at a much cheaper price. So, don't buy base players when purchasing fodders. Mistake 11. Filtering the rank-up players. When you are trying to purchase the rank-up versions of players, many of you make mistakes of filtering base, opening cards, and you will try to watch the rank-up version, but avoid using that method. Directly filter the rank-up players, and you are getting the rank-up version to purchase. That will help to save a lot of your time. Mistake 12. Avoid opening untradable packs. I think you should avoid opening untradable packs in 95% of cases. Sometimes to enjoy a cool walkout, that's definitely okay to open untradable packs, but in the recent scenario, it's a very bad idea to open the untradable player, because they are going to be used for the extra time token exchange, and extra time gives lots more low coins. So, with the gems packs you are wasting, you can use those gems to get some tradable players. Mistake 13. Never underestimate the power of packs. Honestly, many people underestimate the power of packs, but seriously, this is my 0 to 110 OVR account, which I opened like 2 months ago. But you can see the power of packs. I don't invest much more these days, since I am busy on other things too. So, I am almost close to 4 billion coins, and I did nothing at all. Honestly, all 4 billion coins are not from pack opening only. I have also utilized flipping techniques to earn around 1 to 1.5 billion coins, but rest of the 2 billion coins I earned only from the pack opening. So, tradable are W. Mistake 14. Early reaction for market crash. Right now, many players in the market have risen a lot, and they are going to crash soon. In the past days, we have made a lot. of mistakes of losing coins by selling squads before market crashes, and EA have always played another move. So, the rise and fall of players happens, and there is no fixed date for it. So, be ready for crash, but don't react early. Don't sell players early. Mistake 15. Change the nerfed or less hype players. In FC Mobile, the hype of players frequently changes, and if hype gets less than, you should definitely avoid buying such players. You can't exactly know which player's hype will run for how many days, and you must test the players to know which player's hype is less and which player's hype is more. It's totally dependent on the majority of users what they feel about certain players. Anyway, sometimes the hype gets low, and some players even get nerfed when the updates come in-game, when the new version of some players comes in-game. So, you have to stay up to date with your friends whether the players you are using have got nerfed or not. So there is a solution for getting your FC Mobile friends. You can join our Discord server where you can find tons of friends who discuss the FC Mobile game topics. You can get help which players are on trending and which players they use. Anyway, there is also another thing you can do to know whether players are nerfed or not. You can find out differences on whether the players are performing good or bad by yourself with the feel once EA does some updates or brings new players. So yeah, do it and then you will definitely feel if the taste of the certain player is the same or degraded. If the abilities are degraded, then you can consider changing it with some of the alternative positions. This was for part 1, and if you need part 2, let me know in the comments section, plus reach 5,000 likes, aim for the next part. That's all for today's part. I will meet you with another amazing content. Till then, your lovely host, Mr. Believer, signing out.